Hello and welcome to another edition of Coffee, Chess and Crypto. Right now, I'm just going to be covering some crypto news updates and covering different projects. Thank you very much for joining me today. Um, I'm not sure if I'm going to have time to cover all of the things that I wanted to do because, much respect, first of all, to everybody who puts out information and all of these, makes these videos and on the YouTube and puts out information on Twitter and elsewhere. Um, I don't know if you guys realize, but the amount of time and effort that is involved in just creating content is unreal. Um, so I actually spent a good, probably too much time, putting things together and putting it in order and all these different things. But if I don't get it all finished right now, I will come back to it and finish it later on. If you saw my last video, I'm still moving. Right now, I'm in my the new home. You can see it behind me, looking very snazzy. But this is obviously a virtual background. But um, but I'm in my new home in the West Dublin, um, beautiful part of the country, beautiful part of Dublin. Still in the countryside, where I feel at home, of course. Um, but yeah, if I don't have time to cover all of these different things, I will come back and finish it later on. So my name is Moose. Um, so we're going to be covering a couple of different things. One of those things is XDC, and there's a whole ecosystem around that as well, which I'll cover in another episode. Uh, but one of the places where you can get XDC is BitTrue. Okay, it's an exchange and like Binance and Coinbase. So if you would like to sign up to BitTrue, you can use my link in the description below, which will also be helping me. Thank you very much. So make sure to sign up and then um, do the security thing with your phone so you have all the your account is secure and all of that. Okay. Um, but let's get moving on quickly so I can get through some stuff here. Um, First of all, if you're on Twitter, you can follow me here on Twitter. The Twitter alias is the address is coffee64, all one word, coffee64 crypto, 64 representing the 64 squares on a chessboard. So it's coffee chess crypto. I used to have coffee chess crypto written there, but I took that away and opted for just emojis. And yeah, so love, coffee, chess, and crypto. There we go. So coffee64 crypto on Twitter. If you're on Twitter, follow me there. Um, even when I'm not making videos, I'm probably more active on Twitter. Not as active as I'd like to be because I've so many things happening right now, doing way too many things. But I will try and keep these videos updated regularly, and even if they're shorter videos. Um, but what I do here as well is this is more of a long term or a long form video where I actually read articles, and 90% of the time I actually read the full article. So if you're looking for something to perhaps put on the car when you're driving or at home, you want to learn about these different things, um, you can, I will read the articles for you. You can sit back, relax, and listen. Um, and or even if you're, if you're, how do you call it, like visually impaired, um, this would also be helpful for you. So where I will read the articles again in long form. So it's not for everybody. It's not like just a 5 minute read a headline and then move on. Um, for the most part, I will be reading the majority of the articles. I find it interesting, fascinating. I hope you do too. Join me. What I do, this is the long form live stream. What I will do then is later on, I will actually chop this up into smaller segments. So each video then will be specific to um, a particular article or topic of interest or project. So anyway, moving on. This is the YouTube channel. You can find me there, Coffee, Chess, and Crypto. And I'm also on Twitch, Coffee, Chess, Crypto. Okay. So if you're on YouTube, follow me there. This is the news we won't be covering today. Why do scientists want to freeze a wall of sperm? It's a skin koala right there. What other news we won't be covering? Irish parents warned of chocolate products being recalled this Easter after kids become sick with. Not cool, not cool. We won't be covering that. And finally, we won't be covering why Killian Murphy moved his family to Dublin after his children developed very posh English accents, indubitably. So, moving on to the real news now. Um, so I wrote out the could call it like a table of contents. I'll just go over it briefly. What I want to cover today is what is DLT. Um, Next is an overview of XDC. Then we will look at ISO 20022. Then we have the key by John Glenn, the Economic Secretary to the UK Treasury. He gave the keynote speech at the Innovate Finance Global Summit recently. Next, we have what did Binance's CZ say about France? Hmm. Then we will take a look at BlackRock's latest major investment. Then we have Ripple's Chris Larsen on why we need a common standard for moving e-money. And then we have what is Project New Era? Very interesting. Next up is Ripple making waves in carbon reduction and climate change. Very important. And then we have a brief look at the XRP ledger version 1.9, the latest release. We have Fred Rispoli, and he takes on the Fred Rispoli takes on the SEC. We'll go through his Twitter thread, and finally, then we have an article from I think it's Goldman or no JP Morgan, and just I thought it was an interesting one and one that I will read through and hope that you will find interesting too. That is how to find a mentor and how to become one. Okay, so with that, distributed ledger technology. What is DLT? Okay, so what is distributed ledger technology? Distributed ledger technology, DLT, refers to the technological infrastructure and protocols that allows simultaneous access, validation, and record updating in an immutable manner across a network that's spread across multiple entities or locations. It's a lot to take in. DLT, more commonly known as the blockchain technology, was introduced by Bitcoin and is now a buzzword in the technology world given its potential across industries and sectors. In simple words, the DLT is all about of a decentralized network against the conventional centralized mechanism and is deemed to have far-reaching implications on sectors and entities that have long relied upon a trusted third party. Distributed Ledger Technology (DLT) explained. DLT is a protocol that enables the secure functioning of a decentralized digital database. Distributed networks eliminate the need for a central authority to keep a check against manipulation. DLT allows for storage of all information in a secure and accurate manner using cryptography. The same can be accessed using keys and cryptographic signatures. Once the information is stored, it becomes an immutable database and is governed by the rules of the network. The idea of a distributed ledger is not totally new. and many organizations do maintain data at different locations. However, each location is typically on a connected central system, which updates each one of them periodically. This makes the central database vulnerable to cybercrime and prone to delays since a central body has to update each distantly located node. The very nature of a decentralized ledger makes them immune to a cybercrime, as all the copies stored across the network need to be attacked at the same time for the attack to be successful. Additionally, the simultaneous peer-to-peer sharing and updating of records make the whole process much faster, more effective, and cheaper. DLT has great potential to revolutionize the way governments, institutions, and corporations work. It can help governments with tax collection, the issuance of passports, recording land registries and licenses, and the outlay of social security benefits, as well as voting procedures. The technology is making waves in industries such as finance, music and entertainment, diamond and other precious assets, art, supply chains of various commodities, and more. In addition to startups, many big companies, and Microsoft, are experimenting with the blockchain technology. Some of the most popular distributed ledger protocols are Ethereum, Hyperledger Fabric, or3 Corda, and Quorum. Let's not forget XRP, the XRP ledger. Um, complete. We also have, of course, Solana and LinkChain and many, many others. Uh, so that's it in a nutshell. Okay. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to share them below, and I will use those as inspiration and focus points for future videos. Okay. So basically, there the DLT, the distributed ledger technology, aka blockchain, is going to be the future of we would call the digital world, um, covering, as I said, there finance, music, entertainment, art, supply chains, various commodities, many, many things. Anything basically where data or information is passed from one place to another. We can use the distributed ledger technology, DLT, or blockchain. Okay, so we'll be exploring this further as we go on. So, um, next we have what is XDC? The XDC Foundation, previously known as XinFin. Okay, XDC Foundation supports the growth, development, and adoption of the XDC network. We collaborate with an informed and active community of developers, world trade experts, and content creators. Efforts are designed to support those who utilize XDC's blockchain technology to more efficiently store and exchange data, assets, and ideas. So you see, XDC has created its own DLT, distributed ledger technology. Um, who we are. Developers and content creators. We support developers and content creators with a variety of tools and resources, including SDKs, Gitbook, GitHub, and real-time support. We have active communities through multiple channels and soon will be unveiling an NFT marketplace on the XDC network. Stakeholders. XDC's innovative Layer 1 blockchain network is reliable, scalable, and intuitive. We remain top-tier relationships We maintain top-tier relationships in research and software development so that our network can be first to market with innovative concepts and unprecedented use cases. Enterprise. From global trade to ISO 20022 messaging, XDC network is rooted in enterprise applications where security and scalability translate to a stronger platform for everyone. We have the experience, talent, and resources for your team to work with confidence on the XDC network. Layer 1. XDC network is a Layer 1 EVM compatible network, which means what runs on Ethereum will run on XDC network. The enterprise-grade XDC network is compatible with ISO 20022 financial messaging standards and can power a wide range of novel blockchain use cases. Hybrid. Equipped with both public and private states, XDC Network was designed to meet the needs of enterprises with concerns about information transparency and data privacy. Scalable. The delegated proof-of-stake mechanism, which the network reaches consensus, allows for 2-second transaction time, near zero gas fees, and over 2,000 transactions per second prior to sharding. Secure. Military-grade security through, uh, what is it, like two-thirds or two or three node validation requirement? Three node, okay. So military-grade security through 2 out of 3 node validation requirements. No incentive for bad actors to try and gain access. Explorable. User-friendly, customizable block explorer and network statistics pages offer unprecedented transparency where required. Forensics enabled. Forensic monitoring works to diagnose node behavior and to ensure Byzantine fault tolerance (BFT). XDC Network brings the judiciary branch to blockchain. Community. Community is the heart of XDC Foundation. Our community encourages collaboration between the diverse range of stakeholders in the expanding XDC ecosystem. We believe that blockchain is still in its infancy and that our network is on track to be a first mover. The XDC community, including developers, stakeholders, and enterprises, is at the heart of the network and is the lifeblood of ecosystem growth. So that is a quick look at XDC through the XDC front page. Okay, we'll look at it quickly now through CoinMarketCap. Okay, this is 1 day, 7 day, month, 3 months, 1 year, and all time. So back in 2020, it was going for 0.001. Um, I didn't I didn't really want to spend a whole lot of time there. You can see there anyway. It's making waves, of course. But I just want to cover how CoinMarketCap describes it. So what is the XDC network? XDC network, formerly called XinFin network, is an enterprise-grade EVM-compatible hybrid blockchain equipped with public and private states and interoperable smart contracts. A highly optimized, bespoke fork of Ethereum and JP Morgan's now Quorum. The XDC network reaches consensus through a delegated proof-of-stake mechanism, which allows for 2-second transaction time, near zero gas fees, and over 2,000 transactions per second. While the consensus mechanism is proof of stake and thus uses virtually no energy, validators have to perform a small proof of work when proposing a new block, which makes the network highly resistant to spamming. As of April 11, 2022, there are a total of 203 masternode candidates, of which 108 operate as validators masternodes, and the remainder operate as standby validators. Each is required to stake 10 million XDC and upload KYC Know Your Customer documentation. XDC is the fuel powering transactions and smart contracts on the XDC network. At the same time, because users must stake their XDC to run validators and participate in block generation, it ensures that the network remains safe and secure. Subsequent iterations of the XDC network will further enhance the security of the consensus mechanism and also incorporate a novel judiciary branch into the consensus mechanism, developed by Princeton University's Pramod Vishwanath and Hash Laboratories' Fisher Yu and their team, both of whom serve as senior advisors to the XDC Foundation. Cutting-edge compliance technology will ensure unprecedented Byzantine fault tolerance or BFT by holding validators accountable for their actions on an automated and yet discretionary basis. Um, so if you want to read some more, you can do that at CoinMarketCap. And I'll just quickly here, what makes the XDC network unique? The XDC network was the first and only blockchain invited to join the Trade Finance Distribution Initiative, TFDI, a consortium of the world's leading banks and non-bank financial institutions established for the purpose of bridging the $1.7 trillion trade finance gap. It was also invited to join the ITFA's Digital Negotiable Instruments Initiative. Together with its partner TradeTech, XDC Network was responsible for the world's first trade finance based non fungible token transaction in late 2021. Going forward, in partnership with TradeTech and other members of the TFDI, XDC Network is positioned to roll out a suite of trade finance based products which will make trade finance assets widely accessible to capital markets while enabling finance starved SMEs, small and medium sized enterprises, to finally gain access to the financing that they need. While the XDC network was purpose built to be enterprise ready, it's an enterprise ready blockchain for everyone. Now, so again, if you want to learn more, you can go to CoinMarketCap and read more there. So XDC looking very promising, very strong, very secure, um, a good bet for the future. Of course, so again, you can find XDC on Bitrue, and you can find the sign up link, my referral and sign up link for Bitrue in below. Okay. Um, if you have any comments or questions about XDC, you can write them in the comments below. And also, as I said earlier, we'll be covering um, the whole this new XDC ecosystem that is emerging. Okay, and of course, as you can see in the top, uh, this is none of this is now or ever to be taken as financial advice. Okay, so moving on, then we have, as was mentioned in the previous article, ISO 2022. So what is ISO 2022? This is from sdk.finance. What is ISO 20022? Pronounced ISO 20022, is an international standard for exchanging electronic messages between financial institutions, first introduced in 2004. ISO was created to give the financial industry a common platform for developing messages using a modeling methodology, a central dictionary, and a set of XML and ASN.1 design rules. You may also like ISO 20022 for dummies. Well, I may just check that out. Swift ISO 20022. In the coming years, banks globally will migrate from legacy Swift MT financial messaging to the highly structured and data-rich ISO 20022 standard. The flexible framework provides an internationally agreed business message syntax and semantics. User communities and message developers will use the same message structure, form, and meaning to relay financial transaction information worldwide. ISO 20022 is a standardized global language for financial messaging. It covers trades, cards, payments, securities, and FX financial exchanges. ISO 20022 is set to be the de facto standard for high-value payment systems of all reserve currencies. So, is set to be the de facto standard for high-value payment systems of all reserve currencies. This is so important right now, okay? And we're in the early beginning stages, the pre-stages almost of this system being implemented, okay? A worldwide, a new modern worldwide system. By 2023, ISO 20022 will account for 80% volumes of high-value transactions and 87% value of high-value transactions, okay? So 80% of the volumes and 87% of the value. Um, so if you want to learn more about that, you can go to finance. What is ISO 20022? Moving on then, we have the from the Bank of England covering ISO 20022, a new messaging standard for UK payments, and using data to increase harmonization, innovation, and resilience. Updated approach and timetable to ISO 20022. In January 2022, we issued an updated approach for the delivery of the revised RTGS service. A brief summary on the impact of the revised timetable by stakeholder can be found on the summary of changes. Okay. Payments data in the UK is changing. The UK payments industry is moving to ISO 20022, the emerging global standard for payments messaging. This standard creates a common language for payments data across the globe. This change includes our Sterling High Value Payment System, CHAPS, which will migrate to ISO 20022 messaging in April 2023. Better data in payments promises to deliver significant long-term benefits for the economy. To adapt to the new messaging standard and accompanying data requirements, your organization might have to make process and technology changes. Benefits of ISO 20022. Flexibility. ISO 20022 can adapt more easily than current messaging standards, so it's more responsive to changes in the economy, emerging technologies, and innovation. This is the future. Harmonization. Over 70 countries have already adopted ISO 20022, so messages will be harmonized with payment systems around the world. Compliance and regulation. Richer data will make it easier for businesses to detect fraud and help target financial crime. Resilience. ISO 20022 will be used across many payment systems. This improves resilience by allowing rerouting of messages, which reduces the impact of outages on users. Um, and because of the system as well, it should also mean for uh, not only smoother and quicker transactions, but also cheaper, less expensive transactions. Um, so, which means that moving, money and data around the world should be quicker and cheaper for everyone. Okay. Enriched data. More data can be carried. It enables more detailed and better structured reference information. Competition and innovation. More flexibility means more competition and innovation in the financial sector. Better data may lead to product innovation. Straight-through processing. Less need for banks to make manual interventions, potentially fewer delays for the end customer. And analytics. Enriched data will improve analytics. More efficient data collection may improve the decision making. Okay. Our timelines and approach for CHAPS. So in January 2022, we announced an update to the migration approach and timetable uh, of CHAPS to the ISO 20022 messaging format. Transition State 2 preparation, pilot platform, summer of 2022. Transition State 2.1, CHAPS enhanced ISO 20022 messaging in April 2023. Transition State 3, new settlement engine in spring 2024. So they're really looking forward or looking ahead with this. Transition State 4, the roadmap to 2024 and beyond. Okay, so if you want to go a bit more in depth into that, you can find that. Bank of England, a new messaging standard for UK payments, ISO 20022. So, briefly then by JP Morgan, what does ISO 20022 mean for the payments industry? Well, anything here that we haven't seen before? Financial institutions are increasingly adopting the new standard ISO 20022, delivering faster payments, automation, and resolution. Create strong bonds with fluid channels of communication across stakeholders to oversee the migration within your business. Communication and consistency and cost benchmarking are building blocks for the ISO 20022 migration. And SWIFT is committed to helping financial institutions overcome translation challenges. So basically, yeah, the ISO 20022 system is the future for for the financial markets and moving finances, money, and data around the world. And this is important then when we look at the different companies and technologies that are becoming are following this standard, utilizing this standard. We can see then have a better idea at least of who will have their feet in the ground when it's time to start running, you know. So moving on then, we have this guy here, okay? I just want to introduce this guy if you haven't already, if you don't already know. This is a citizen of the future, a blockchain theory. You can find him at twitter.com/utility theory, okay? So search for utility theory or citizen of the future. Um, I unscribe with the notification bell. I have this guy on. Whatever he posts, I get a notification. You will be seeing him a few times throughout this and in future episodes as well. Um, and I hope actually to be able to have a conversation with him at some point in the near future too. So if you have any questions, feel free to again share them in the comments below and I will pass them on. So, Citizen says, if you are a citizen that's wanting to get ahead of the herd, you should be following the trade finance digitalization transformation. Global trade is going digital. um, 21 Regulated FinTech Review XDC Network joined the TFD initiative to revolutionize global trade finance with tier 1 banks and SMEs. So they were the only, I think, company that we read earlier on that was invited to join. Okay, very important. So we have here the TFD initiative. Um, we are delighted to invite members of the TFD initiative to the inaugural 2021 user meeting. Okay, these are all the banks and members who are involved. TFD initiative is establishing the largest business community of trade originators, funding platforms, credit insurers, institutional funders, and their service providers committed to increase the level of automation and transparency in trade asset and risk distribution on the basis of technology-based market practices. The members of TFD initiative are as follows. So you can see multiple big name banks there. SMBC, HSBC, Rabobank, QNB, ABN AMRO, AIG, Standard Chartered, Swiss Re, Kimura, Lloyds, ICC, and Citizen, again, utility theory, Citizen of the future. He is just fantastic at presenting data. So he has this natural ability and a skill to present data in a way that's more manageable or for us mere mortals to dissect and digest. So he has it from the previous image of all the members. Is it split into members, asset sellers, asset buyers, participants, tech stack, service stack, associations. Uh, Tech stack includes XDC and blockchain technology for cross-border trade. Okay. Um, and we'll no doubt see more posts of Citizen, aka Utility Theory, later on and in future episodes. So right now, this guy posted underneath this, read the statement from the UK government. So this is an interesting one as well. Keynote speech by John Glenn, Economic Secretary to the Treasury at the Innovate Finance Global Summit. during FinTech Week 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all, and let me start by conveying the Chancellor's apologies and disappointment that due to other commitments he can't be here himself. Because fintech is a fast-moving and exciting sector, in large part because of your ideas, your hard work and expertise, and it's absolutely at the forefront of the Chancellor's mind as he thinks about the future, about supporting the economic recovery, and about making the UK the world's preeminent financial centre. And that last point is crucial. Financial services make an contribution to this country in many different ways, and within that, with every passing month, fintech is punching higher and harder. Year on year, investment growth in UK fintech was up more than 200% in 2021. We are the leading European fintech hub and second only to the US worldwide. Almost half of the fintech unicorns in Europe are based in the UK, and last year the sector attracted more investment than France, Germany, Sweden, and the Netherlands combined. That matters because, as the Chancellor told you last year, part of the way we become that preeminent financial centre that he describes is by having the technology here to do things better. So be in no doubt, the Chancellor and I value all of you immensely and will continue doing everything we can to support you. That's why we commissioned Ron Khalifa to undertake a new independent review on UK fintech, why we're straining every sinew to implement his recommendations. The FCA has already expanded and reinforced its world-leading regulatory sandbox. It's piloting the new Scalebox, which offers enhanced support to newly authorized firms, and just a few weeks ago, Innovate Finance announced the launch of their international fintech group, which they will co-chair with the Department of International Trade. One of Khalifa Review's central recommendations was the creation of a new national fintech body, the Centre of Finance, Innovation and Technology, a force for turbocharging UK fintech, and I'm delighted that the CFIT Steering Committee, chaired by Ron himself, met for the first time last week. Let's go through this quickly because time is of the essence right now. So definitely not going to have time to go through everything that I want to. So this might be a two-part episode. But here we have, I saw the mention of DLT. So UK fintech is, and it's our job as a government to ensure that success continues, a mission to which we are very much committed. But there's more. The Chancellor didn't ask me to come here to thank you and congratulate you. The Chancellor, the Treasury, and I have a specific message on new technologies. Ladies and gentlemen, never in the history of commerce has there been invention as hyped and misunderstood as technology and blockchain. For simplicity's sake, I'm going to use the catch-all term crypto or crypto technologies. But what I mean is the extraordinary mercurial underlying technology which makes crypto possible, and which we are pretty sure is going to have profound effects across multiple domains. And that doesn't happen very often. It's a challenge and it's an opportunity. And today I want to tell you how here in the UK we're going to respond, because we want this country to be a global hub, the very best place in the world to start and scale crypto companies. If there is one message I want to leave you here today with, it is that the UK is open for business, open for crypto businesses, right on the cusp of this technology breaking through. But there isn't even consensus of what the implications of crypto are, when or whether we're going to reach some kind of steady state, or even whether crypto itself is a good thing. There's a massive debate between the skeptics and evangelists, and there are a wide range of views in between. Some people worry deeply about crypto and about how it's going to harm consumers or provide a platform for illicit activity free from government oversight or drive up carbon emissions. Others say it's the best thing ever. They argue that crypto could do things, excuse me, that crypto could do things like revolutionize global finance by making financial exchanges more transparent, efficient, and democratic, and placing currency in the hands of people, not nations. That leaves us here in the UK with a big question to answer. How are we going to respond? Our answer is this. If crypto technologies are going to be a big part of the future, then we, the UK, want to be in, and in on the ground floor. In fact, if we commit now, if we act now, we can lead the way. We hear the concerns, some of which are valid. That's why, in this country, we've already said that we'll seek to protect consumers by legislating to bring certain crypto assets into the scope of financial promotions regulation, and it's essential that investors understand the risks that they are taking. And as the Bank of England's Financial Policy Committee recently noted, we're also mindful that as crypto technologies grow and become more interconnected with the core financial system, we'll need to ensure that regulators have the right tools to manage the associated risks. We are aware too that crypto assets have proven attractive to criminals and hostile states, which is why we've taken proactive steps to prevent their misuse. Since January 2020, January 2020, excuse me, crypto asset firms operating in the UK have been subject to the money laundering regulations, and we recently consulted on implementing the Financial Action Task Force's travel rule for transfers of crypto assets. We have a very robust system in place and we won't compromise on those high standards. On Russia specifically, the Office of Financial Sanctions Implementation has published a joint statement with the FCA and Bank of England reiterating that crypto asset firms are required to play their part in ensuring that sanctions are enforced and offering guidance on how to do that. The UK is also playing a role in negotiations on the new OECD crypto assets tax reporting framework, ensuring enhanced tax transparency and consumer confidence in the sector and enabling a level playing field in tax reporting globally. On carbon footprint, the UK is a world-leading centre for green finance. So of course, we will be looking closely at energy usage associated with certain crypto technologies. Those are all perfectly reasonable things to question. But equally, we see enormous potential in crypto, and we want to give ourselves every chance to take maximum advantage. We aren't going to lower our standards, but we are going to maintain our technologically neutral approach. Having robust and effective regulation won't hinder innovation. It'll actually boost it by giving people and businesses the confidence they need to think and invest for the long term. How are we going to do that? Well, there are three key things in our favor. We have a detailed plan. We are, I am, determined to learn quickly, and the government will lead the way in harnessing the potential of blockchain and supporting the development of a world-best crypto ecosystem. First, a detailed plan. Our review is that crypto is going to impact many different sectors, including financial services. Change is going to be dynamic, which means the regulated crypto technologies needs to be dynamic too, just as it should be for other financial activities and products. We shouldn't be thinking of regulation as a static, rigid thing. Instead, we should be thinking in terms of regulatory code, like computer code, which we refine and rewrite when we need to. Tailored and proportionate, yes, but also nimble and tech neutral, shaped by your input and advice, and with regulators through the Crypto Assets Task Force, working together to create a dynamic regulatory landscape which works for everyone. Of course, I'm very aware of recent reporting on the temporary regime. This is a new world for the newly regulated and the regulators, and we need to work together, learn from each other to maintain those high standards while being flexible and working at a pace that the speed of innovation demands. We consulted last year on how to regulate so-called stable coins, which some companies are keen to develop for payment processes. Today we're publishing our response, as part of which I can confirm that we will be legislating to bring certain stablecoins into our payments framework, creating the conditions for stablecoin issuers and service providers to operate and grow in the UK. This will also enable consumers to use stablecoin payment services with confidence. The government, excuse me, and the government will introduce this legislation as part of an ambition to deliver a world-leading regulatory regime for stablecoins. We wanted in the first instance to focus on areas of immediate potential and concern in the crypto sphere, hence our work on stablecoins. But we are now widening that gaze. We think the market has changed sufficiently for us to look at regulating a broader set of crypto activities, including trading of tokens like Bitcoin, and we will consult on a world-leading regime for the rest of the crypto market too, a regime that will facilitate safe and sustainable, and I hope rapid innovation. Looking ahead, the legal landscape will also be crucial. Okay, so of course all of this activity is happening against the backdrop of exciting transformative innovation around the next evolution of the internet, Web 3, as many call it. No one knows for sure yet how Web 3 is going to look, and there's every chance that blockchain is going to be integral to its development, with a more decentralized, open, and user-owned ecosystem. And we want this country to be there, leading from the front, seeking out the greatest economic opportunities. The government is already working with digital regulators to understand what issues will need to be considered in order to achieve maximum benefit for the public. We'll also be engaging with you all closely on changes we want to make to the tax system. On balance, we don't think the tax code will need major surgery to make it work more easily for crypto. But we're going to look at and resolve specific issues like the treatment of DeFi loans and staking. We will be amending the investment manager exemption to remove disincentives to UK fund managers, including disincentives to UK fund managers, hmm, a typo there probably, including crypto assets and their portfolios. Above all, we want to position the UK as a pro-innovation jurisdiction which is attractive to inward investment and to firms who don't yet have a settled base. The second thing we have going for us is that we are determined to learn quickly. Let me just go quickly through this. Our third and final crucial advantage is the leading role of the government. Is the leading role the government is going to play. Okay. Our third and final crucial advantage is the leading role the government is going to play. Unlike the EU and US, the UK has a small number of regulators, and sets the central government sets the overall framework and can take decisive action. So we can move very nimbly and trust we have a determined, unified, single-minded government that is going to prioritize this. For instance, we'll be undertaking a program of work to explore whether it's possible to apply DLT to the debt issuance process. Could the UK one day issue a debt instrument using DLT? I don't yet know the answer, but let's find out. And we will lead by example. Finally, we are already effectively using crypto technologies to make government more efficient. We are developing opportunities to use distributed ledger technology for customs and international trade to ease the import of goods, and we will continue to support further opportunities to deploy that technology. Finally, I am announcing today that the Chancellor has asked the Royal Mint to create a non-fungible token, an NFT, to be issued by the summer, an emblem of the forward-looking approach we are determined to take. And there will be more details available very soon. So the UK government is doing its first NFT, which I believe is the first NFT by any government in the world. Um, the UK government and others are known for issuing coins, remembrance coins, and this is a way that they can also take in funds by people as well. Um, but now they are going to be able to create an NFT, which will cost them little to no money, very little money, and people then will pay for the NFT as a kind of a token of remembrance, which will also support the government financially. So, if you want to read more or to go more in depth on that, you can go to gov.uk and look for a keynote speech by John Glenn, Economic Secretary to the Treasury at the Innovate Finance Global Summit. So, I'm going to have to leave it there for now. Have Okay, I got to the fourth point. I have 12 kind of topics in total. So not bad. I got a third of the way through. That was a long one. A lot of information there. I wasn't expecting it to be so long, but I have to run now and get ready to move the rest of the my belongings from my old home to my new home across Ireland. So I'll keep you guys updated. If you are still here, if you made it this far, thank you for being here. Your presence is always appreciated. And if you have any pointers, tips, um, projects, articles that you want me to look at, feel free to share them in the comments, um, or send me a direct message or a private message. Um, so yeah, that's all for now. Thank you for being here. Coffee Chess Crypto. I am your host, Crypto Moose. Over and out. Thank you.